Most games have a system or two that I think could be improved or tweaked to make it feel better. In Modern Warfare 2, it's the way you unlock attachments. In Grounded, it's food degradation, at least early through mid game. And in Darktide, it's obtaining weapons. First, let's talk about how you get weapons in the game. 90% of the time, you have to buy those weapons from the shop using in game currency that you earn through going on missions and playing the game. Those weapons each have a rarity, and the higher the rarity, normally the greater the damage they do, and the more perks and blessings they have on them. So they always cost more. Every hour or so, what's in the shop changes randomly to a different set of weapons and curios that have different random perks and blessings on them. And from the shop, you can buy curios, which give you an added benefit like 10% toughness or 10% more health, some kind of perk like that. That's just a passive perk. And there is also the small chance that you can get a weapon when you complete a run. I'm not talking about unlocking the weapon families so that you can buy them in the shop. I'm talking about a weapon that you can actually use in game. Now that we've got that settled and we're all on the same page of how to currently get weapons within the game, let's get into my problems with obtaining weapons this way. The biggest issue for me is that the end of a mission doesn't feel satisfying. For a game that is very much about loot and randomness when it comes to a lot of its weapon systems, I question why they don't give you a weapon reward at the end of every mission. I'm not saying I hate the shop, I'm fine with having it as a supplemental way of getting a different weapon, but giving the player a reward after they spend at least 20 to 30 minutes in a mission just makes sense to me, because you are dedicating a good amount of time to playing the game and to being in a single mission. It feels like it should give you a better reward. It could be like a slightly upgraded version of what you're using in that mission, or just a random weapon that's the same power level or slightly higher than what you're using for that mission and that you have unlocked for the family unlocks. There could also be increases in rarity for how well you play as a team, because this is supposed to be a very team-centric game. Like if you stick in a certain proximity to each other for like the whole match, or like however long you stick close to each other will increase it, or how many times your team shoots things together. Basically how much you team shoot or use your abilities within like certain times of each other could influence the rarity of your rewards. To me, the rewards from doing a mission in Darktide are just unsatisfying, because it is all credits. It's all credits or telling you what you have found in the game or in the mission. And I just think it could have been a lot better with giving you more weapons for more variability and more choice for the player. And I know you can get weapons from completing missions, but it's such a rare chance that it might as well just not be there right now. And I don't like the shop because of how much and how frequently it changes weapons. Like I know it's every like hour it changes to a new set, but I would rather have every single weapon family that I've unlocked available for purchasing within the shop. But don't tell me like what the stats or the perks or the blessings are. Keep those hidden so it does keep that random element in there, but it would be like my choice of what to buy or what I can buy, instead of the will of the computer for what I can buy from the shop every hour. That's my biggest thing with the weapon selection or with buying and acquiring weapons. It's just how random the weapons appear. You don't always have a new flamer that I can buy. Don't always have a new melee weapon that I want to try and want to buy. And I just think it would help out a lot more with actually trying different weapons, different setups, different builds, different guns, different melee stuff. Like it would help. I do also kind of have a problem with the current consecration system, with how random that is. But I think it will be balanced out when they implement the other parts of the system. But I did just want to talk about my problems with it briefly. I don't like upgrade systems that are fully random. I'm fine with stat increases being random, but I think when it comes to perks and blessings, I would prefer being able to choose my perks and my blessing. I know that when they come out with the blessing system for crafting, the earn blessing, combine blessings, and re-bless systems, that you can do this for blessing. But perks are always just a random reroll and hope for the best. I have heard nothing about, I can lock in this perk and lock in this perk and just roll this one. I know they haven't, I don't think they've talked about the system that much that they're implementing, but it would kind of be nice to be able to either lock them in or, you know, maybe choose what perks you want. Like, I would rather have a list of perks that are in tiers and that cost different amounts to place on my weapon, like they're doing with the blessing system. I know the perks are passive increases, but when it comes to like min-maxing for very hard encounters at the end of damnation levels, I think doing it this way would open up a whole new way for players to interact with these systems. And it would also allow Fat Shark to make more interesting and varied encounters to test their players' knowledge of the game and the teamwork that they have by putting in a variety of different enemy types so that players would have to excel in different areas and with different classes to get through the level. Just being able to select your own perks on weapons, I think it opens up the possibility for a large variety of better builds that will help test the developers' creativity so that they can test the player's ability to get through those missions. And I think the two systems work. I think they do. I don't think they're horrible systems. I'm not a big fan of their randomness. And I think there needs to be a better balance between randomness and player choice. And it may come with the updates, adding in the rest of the crafting systems. When those do come out, I am going to play more, and I will probably make another video talking about my thoughts on those systems, and if they do balance out the upgrade system. But really, that's all I have to say on this topic. I'm going to try to do videos like this, where I do a 10-hour impressions, and then the next week I break down a little bit more of what I'm thinking of that game or a certain system in that game. And I think that's going to be how I'm gonna run this stuff, guys. But for now, if you like this video, punch that like button and maybe subscribe. Or if you're still looking for more content and you're trying to make up your mind of if you like my channel or not, or you want to see some more first impressions, right here I've got my 10-hour impressions playlist, and I have a link to my actual 10-hour impressions of Darktide. That's all I got, guys. Have a royal day.